Here we go again.
Verbal riot.
The MCU has been in trouble for a long time. We all know that, man. They have not had a hit since Endgame. Their shows have been terrible, their movies have been awful, and the numbers show it. Disney Plus, in particular, has had its just run of failures, starting with WandaVision. I mean, WandaVision, Winter Soldier, and Falcon. What was the other one? Loki. I mean, even What If? What If, which should have been a home run for them, right? Failure. Everything after Endgame has not been good for the MCU outside of the Spider-Man movies. So it was really kind of shocking that they decided to go all in on a side character from WandaVision, right? Agatha Harkness. Even a character who in the comics isn't that big of a character to where you would base a whole show on. But the brain trust at the MCU decided, yeah, this is exactly what we need. Right now, after a line of failures, what we need is an Agatha show. Now, I will say this. My sources, because I do have sources at the MCU, have told me that they are trying to get back on track. They're trying to right the wrongs of the past couple of years. And there's certain things that were already in production that they just have to push out. Agatha being one of those. Ironheart being another one. Echo being another one. They had to push these out because they were already in production. And by the time the train went off the rails, these things were already in play. So, okay, fine. I understand that. I understand that. But in bringing us this turd, what they could have done was just polish it up a little bit, right? Like, you have to put this shit out, but just polish it up a little bit. Well, long story short, Agatha All Along is already dead on arrival. And not because of the show itself, because the show's not even out yet. But once again, the cast sabotages a project before it even comes out. Before it even comes out. Guys, it comes out this week. They just had 1 day, 2 days to just be quiet and just let the show play. But once again, they felt their need to virtual signal right before the show starts. Now, some of you don't even know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show you the video. But just keep in mind, guys, and here's the thing. I'm going to make something very clear after I show all these things, because the rhetoric is going to be right after this. The rhetoric is going to be right when this show fails, they're going to go straight to their bigot shield. And that's probably why they did these interviews, is to raise the bigot shield. So let me show the video.
It's been described to me that Agatha is the gayest project Marvel has ever done. Agree?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Why is it?
You'll see. You'll see when you watch it. But, I think witches are queer inherently just because we are outcast and set aside for many reasons. And I think this show shows a really good representation of different types of people, and that we can all use the power we have within to go forth and be great.
The gayest MCU show ever. Where have we heard that one?
I want to ask you both, because this is, I would say, arguably the gayest Star Wars, I think, by a considerable margin. And are you excited about that? Are you bracing yourself? Star Wars.
Yeah. How did that work for them? I mean, literally, you could ask any of those unemployed people right now from the Acolyte, how that worked out for them, being the gayest Star Wars ever. Right? Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, you're just a big old bigot, Dante. You're just a bigot. This is becoming tiresome. Guys, if I'm being honest with you, this is getting tiresome. I'm just tired of seeing things that I loved, right, growing up. Things that, to be honest with you, in part saved my life. You know, Star Wars Theory, who I've mentioned many times before, he talks about how Star Wars saved his life when he was younger. Because he was sick and he had all these things going on with him, and Star Wars gave him something to really kind of live for, man. See, that was me though, but with comic books, with Marvel, with DC, with Image, with Top Cow, with Dark Horse, with all these comic books. That was me. And for those of us like me who are tired of seeing the things we love bastardized, made fun of, we're sick of it. And you know what? You don't have to be a hardcore fan like Theory, like me. You don't have to be a hardcore fan of these things. You could just be a fan of good TV, of good movies. But see, they do this stuff, right? They make these claims of being the gayest so that you cannot say anything bad about it. You can't criticize it. We just went through this with the Acolyte. Now this asshole, this guy, this interviewer, he asked the whole crew this question about it being the gayest. And this is a guy who works for Variety magazine, by the way. He made sure he asked all the cast about it being the gayest. So I don't know if this guy's a plant or not, or he was trying to bait them, but they all fell for the bait. This woman, who I have no idea who this is, Audrey Plaza, who's in the show, who I actually like, Katherine Hahn, another actress I really like, Agatha herself. Now, I will say this. Katherine Hahn did try, when he asked her that question, to not focus on that and to be like, well, the story is good. And yes, there's gay representation. She tried to be a professional, where these other women just didn't at all. And again, they do this for protection from criticism. I'm trying to understand Disney's agenda here, right? Because a couple of days ago, I read this. Report: Disney ordered Pixar to make the main character in Inside 2 Out 2 less gay. And you know what? That movie did over $1 billion. Why is that? Deadpool and Wolverine, over $1 billion for Disney. Why is that? Aliens did pretty good for Disney this year. Not as good as Deadpool and Wolverine, but good. Made profit. And I'm starting to kind of put these pieces of the puzzle together. I'm starting to understand now what Disney's real agenda is here. I am, see, in my mind, because I'm a logical thinker, I'm trying to figure out how does a studio who knows how to make hit movies, right? They know how to make hit movies. They know what it takes to make a hit movie or TV show. Why are they doing this? And as much as people hate this word, it is part of an agenda. It's part of an agenda. Because there's no logical reason to sabotage Star Wars, the MCU, and Pixar the way that they have, unless there is an agenda at play. Now, you would think after Deadpool and Wolverine and Inside Out 2 and Aliens, hey, maybe they're learning their lesson. But no, I realize what's going on here. See, what they're going to do is they're going to let a few movies like that slide, meaning they're going to let them be good. They're going to let them make profit. And what they're going to do is they're going to take the profits from those things to keep making stuff like this. They're going to funnel the money into keeping this garbage alive. So, guys, when you hear, oh, I think Disney's learning their lessons, I think the tide is turning, it's not. It's not. They're going to let a few successes happen so that they can use the money to keep funneling into these projects. See, I figured it out. They're not waking up. They're not learning their lessons. They just found a better way to fund these things. You know, my friends who work for the MCU who have told me that they're trying to get back on track, I don't disagree with. I think they might be right, sure. But what they're going to do is take whatever profits those movies make, if they're a success, and they're going to funnel it back into these things. They're not letting go of this, you guys. Like this isn't going away, right? The woke shit isn't going away. It's here to stay. It's here to stay because Disney's backers want this to happen. And they have the money. They'll wait us out. But they have the money to make this happen. But Agatha, all along, already dead on arrival. Already dead on arrival. Because of these interviews that happened with Variety, look, there were already people just who were on the fence, and even those people are out now. They're out. People who love Aubrey Plaza and Catherine Hahn, who would have gave it a chance, like me. I would have given it a chance because I like those two actresses. I'm out. I'm done. Because Disney refuses to learn. And again, what they're going to do is when the show fails, and it will, the bigot shield will come up. Because they've done it with everything else. And they'll have their army of shields. They'll have their army of media ready to blast us for not supporting this garbage. Disney's not going to ever learn because there's no need for them to learn. The people who fund Disney don't give a shit what we think. So anyway, guys, that's it for me. I just wanted to make this quick video. If you guys want to watch the show, I know there's going to be a bunch of content creators who are going to watch it, who are going to do a bunch of videos on it. I won't be one of those people, man. I feel like life is too short, guys. It's too short. And don't get me wrong, it's work, right? It's work. I'm watching this to make videos on it. And I don't fault any content creator for doing that at all. At all. And it's not that I'm taking a moral stance. I just don't see what I can bring to the table that would be any different than what any other content creator is going to do for this show. Right? Like, why am I going to make video after video talking about how bad this show is? Now, sure, I haven't seen it yet. And maybe it is cinematic gold. And maybe the cast are just assholes, right? Maybe. And I will watch the first episode, right? Because the critic in me will always watch something I'm just saying whether I make videos on this or not, it's probably not going to happen. But I'm going to watch and see for myself if it's bad or not. Because, hey, here's the thing. If it's actually good, I'll give it its credit. I'll give it its credit. When X-Men 97 came out, you know, I watched it and I loved it. And I gave Disney its credit for producing something good. So I'm not biased and I'm very fair. But this kind of stuff, those kind of interviews, just like the Acolyte, are going to turn a lot of people away from this. Anyway, y'all, that's it for me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate it. Help me out a lot. Definitely leave comments. I love reading the comments. And share the video. Share the video. That always helps. But anyway, you guys have a good one, man. And if you watch the show, y'all let me know what you think, because I'm probably going to hang in there for just one or two. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys soon.